there, Andy Boy again here. Now you know Tom Hanks, right? Everybody knows Tom Hanks. You know, the guy that was on the desert island, the guy that flew the upside down plane, the guy that Forrest Gump. Oh, and he was also like executed a bunch of people in the Green Mile. Anyway, Tom Hanks, we all know the guy, right? Have you ever heard of this? It's called Bosom Buddies. A TV show from 1980. I remember this from when I was a kid. I guess 1980, it would have been like 9, right? I used to see this on TV. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. This is one of the first things I saw Tom Hanks in. This is like the dawn of Tom Hanks' career, or very close to the beginning of his career. Now, that's Tom Hanks in a dress. And this guy next to him, that's Peter Scolari. You may recognize him from the show Newhart in the 80s. Okay, so these two guys are roommates. And they, I guess, get forcibly evicted from their apartment. Basically, they have to dress up as women in order to live in this home for girls or whatever. This ladies' dormitory or hotel for women only. Because the rent's super cheap, it's very close to work, and it's with, there's one of their co-workers already lives there, who coincidentally is in love with this guy, with Peter Scolari. Yeah, the humor was it's a little different back in 1980, where, like Crossdressing was like a gag. It was like Tootsie, the movie Tootsie with Dustin Hoffman, where he dresses as a lady and, his career skyrockets or something like that. Well, that's kind of like this too. But it's like they look terrible as women, I think. They don't look like women. It's not a very convincing job they do. And being a sitcom and being the 80s, it's all just played for laughs. There's a bunch of men versus women kind of jokes and stuff like that. It's meant to be harmless. I don't think that this would like upset anybody. It's not meant to. Okay, it's a little weird. There's some uncomfortable situations. It's pretty, I guess, it's primetime comedy. It's not that racy or anything like that. But I have volume 1 right here, and it has the very first episode, and it shows you how Kip and Henry, it shows you how they basically get into this situation. There's only a couple episodes on this one tape. But I actually watched this first. Now, this is volume 4, and it's like stuff from season 2. There's like none of the cross-dressing thing. Like, they don't dress up as women in this, like, at all, except for one scene, and it's for about a minute. You see Peter Scolari dressed as his female counterpart. Buffy, I believe is her name. Yeah, other than that, it's just another comedy with Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari, who incidentally are really good in this, and I find really funny. They're very good like improv actors. Apparently a lot of this stuff was improv. Like I said, there's really not like any of the hilarious bosom buddies, these two guys dressed as women in these 2 episodes. As a matter of fact, like I said, there's less than a minute out of 45 minutes worth of screen time. Still entertaining, still funny, but it's kind of funny that they sort of abandoned that whole main concept of the show by season 2. It didn't even matter anymore. It was inconsequential. But yeah, I had a blast watching this because, like I said, I remember this from when I was young. And there's also one other curious thing on here, and I don't know if this exists just on the tapes. I don't know if there's like DVD versions of the complete series or anything like that. But one thing I did notice is that the theme song from this has been changed. Now I don't know if that happened during the show, the run of the show. I think maybe like in the later season, the second season, maybe they changed the theme song. But I distinctly remember watching this on TV, and the theme song was My Life by Billy Joel. And that's not on here at all. And this one has the first episode on it. So like they retroactively like changed the theme or whatever. I don't know if there was some lawsuit and Billy Joel didn't want them using his song or whatever, or they didn't feel like paying Billy Joel anymore, or they kind of disassociated themselves with Billy Joel for some reason. Hope it was nothing too negative. I think whatever. Great song though, and the one that they put in to replace it is stock kind of 70s soft rock, I guess you could say. Anyway, Bosom Buddies is a good show. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to like get a DVD of the show or anything like that, but it's worth checking out. You probably see it on YouTube. One of the streaming services is going to probably carry this show. Two very talented comedians, comedic actors, that this is at the dawn of their careers, really. So I think it's an interesting snapshot of 1980 television comedy. Hopefully you're old enough, like me, to remember this from when you were a kid. But if not, it's interesting to check out, especially if you like Tom Hanks. And, who don't like Tom Hanks, right? Forrest Gump? You don't want to be a Gump hater, do you?